What is up, dudes? Lady dudes, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, we've got some news. We got a decent amount of news. I worked this morning, but I saw all this stuff got revealed when I got off. We got a lot of stuff. We got some stuff for the new structure deck. We have the new promo card, the Endymion promo card. We'll see if that's on par with the rest of the support they're getting. We have a bunch of new CYBERSE stuff with some pretty cool designs. And we also have a new Witchcraft card confirmed for Rising Rampage, but we'll get there when we get there. First things first, though, let's start with Rogue of Endymion, because this is a very hyped competitive deck coming up in that new... what is it? Not a structure deck. Whatever, the new deck. The Endymion, the new Endymion cards. Whatever, we have Rogue of Endymion. It's a level 3 fire spellcaster. I don't think any of them are fire. 1500 attack, 200 defense. You can use each effect among the first and second effects of this card's name only once per turn. So, 2 hard ones per turns. If this card is normal or special summoned, place 1 spell counter on it. Okay. You can remove 1 spell counter from this card, then discard 1 spellcaster monster to set 1 continuous spell directly from your deck, and if you do, you cannot activate cards or effects of cards with that name for the rest of the turn. That's not good. You're searching a card that can only activate on your turn and you can't activate. So it's not like you have the option of searching a trap, setting it, and then activating on your opponent's turn. If it was continuous spell or trap, you could search like a floodgate, set a floodgate, and then activate on your opponent's turn, but you cannot do that, which makes this bad. This is bad. This is not a good card. Alright, disappointing. Start. Let's see what we got for the structure deck here. So we're going to start with Flip Frozen, which is a level 1 water CYBERSE. He's really cute looking. 500, 500. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can change all attack position monsters your opponent controls to defensive positions. Just way too outdated with links and the fact that that's just not very powerful. This card is not very good. We move to Drebrave, level 4 fire CYBERSE effect monster, Salamander support. We'll see. 1500 attack, 1000 defense. Once per turn, when a CYBERSE monster you control declares an attack, you can discard 1 monster. The attacking monster gains 600 attack until the end of this turn. No. I mean, let's keep in mind, guys, that this is for a structure deck. These aren't supposed to be incredibly broken cards, but you hope that there's a couple in here that have some value. This card's design is awesome. This card looks so cool. It's like a deer, but its antlers are made of the CYBERSE or whatever, and they look really awesome. So this is Rebuild Deer with a level 4 wind CYBERSE effect monster, 1800 attack. So I like the beat stick status. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target 1 CYBERSE monster with 1500 or less defense in your graveyard and special summon that monster. It's cheeky, but I don't think it's crazy. I mean, cards that rely on the battle phase to really get their effects. It's one thing if they have an effect in the battle phase, but for their effect to only pop off after they've done something in the battle phase is not very good. So, unfortunately, nothing crazy there, but the design is really cool for fun CYBERSE builds. Then we also have Threshold Borg, which is a level 7 Earth CYBERSE effect monster. Another cool design on this one. 2400 and 2000, so decent stats. If you control no monster, you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 CYBERSE monster. Also, monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. If you could do this, if you didn't need to have no monsters, then this is actually a really interesting card. I still think it's interesting, even for CYBERSE stuff. I mean, you look at Salamangreats that already have monsters that want to get into the graveyard anyway. So that's not actually that bad. We'll see. This card has the most potential out of all of these for sure. We'll just have to see though. We also have Signet Crosswipe, which is a quick play spell. Tribute 1 CYBERSE monster, then target 1 card on the field. Destroy that card. If you didn't have to tribute a CYBERSE monster, this would be spicy because the Signet with the Code Talker support, there's cards that just search Signet cards. I think there's ways to search just any Signet card. This would be spicy, except that you have to tribute a CYBERSE monster, so that's not the best. But it still is interesting disruption, and also you can still be used going second just to break a board. Not crazy though. Then we have finally Signet Cascade, which is a normal trap. If you link summon a link monster, target one monster in your graveyard that was used as link material for that summon and special summon it. I like the artwork. The artwork is really cool. It's just not that good. You'd have to set this and wait for it to get all the way back around to your next turn, because you're probably not link summoning on your opponent's turn, other than that one trap card that lets you do it. It's just way too slow, and it doesn't do enough for how slow it is. Then we have some Rising Rampage cards. We'll start here with Rescue Interlacer. Cool design again. There's a lot of cool designs here, I will say that. Konami is on it. Level 3 Light CYBERSE, 1000, 1200. You can only use the first effect as a hard once per turn. During damage calculation, when a CYBERSE monster you control is attacked, you can discard this card. Damage you take from that battle becomes 0. Dang it. Like, when it said discard this card, I was like, whoa, is this just like a battle trap for CYBERSE? It's not. It's nowhere near that good. Because that would add like extra value to like Lady Debug if you're in like a simplified game state. Debug just searches this. This could be a battle trap that doubles the attack of a CYBERSE monster that battles, or a level 4 lower CYBERSE monster that battles. You know, nerf it somehow. But it just stops you from taking damage. During the end phase, a turn in which this card is discarded the graveyard because of its own effect, special summon this card. That's a nice little effect to get out of it, just an extra body on board, but nothing crazy there. Oh, this is like Lady Debugger, but like different. This is Cross Debugger. Okay, cool design. I like his design. Level 2 Dark CYBERSE, 900, 600 for the stats, and each of its effects are hard once per turn. If you control 2 or more link monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so it's an extender. A little bit of setup required, but nothing that bad. When you and your opponent's link monsters battle, during damage calculation, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one link monster in your graveyard until the end of this turn. Your battling monster gains attack equal to that target monster's attack and cannot be destroyed by battle. Just a whole lot of stipulations, just a whole lot of requirements for this card. He's cool, he's cheeky, but he's not good. Then we go to DMZ Dragon, a level 4 Dark Dragon effect monster. This looks like a dinosaur. It's weird that this is a dragon. 0 attack, which is weird. 2000 offense, big booty. Once per turn, you can target one dragon monster you control and one level 4 lower dragon monster in your graveyard. Equip the monster in the graveyard to the monster on the field is an equip card. That makes the equipped monster gain 500 attack. Okay. When your monster equipped with an equipped card attacks, at the end of the damage step, you can banish this card from the graveyard to destroy all of that monster's equipped cards, and if any are destroyed, that monster can attack once again in a row. Again, this is just a lot of like cheeky stuff. It's not good, but it's interesting. It's fun. This is what I saw that was really interesting. Is we have BORREL Load Charge Dragon, X-Charge Dragon, which is a rank 4. It's a generic rank. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not generic. It takes 2 level 4 Dark Dragon monsters specifically, so kind of specific to Rockets. There are a couple other Dark Dragons, but not a ton. 3000 attack, 2500 defense. That's pretty crazy that we just have a rank 4 that just has 3000 attack with some other effects. This XYZ summon card cannot be targeted by the effects of other monsters. That's a decent protection effect. I mean, this card may be worth to just make, because if you don't have all the monsters on board to go into a BORREL Load or a BORREL Sword, you may just go into this thing. You're just a 3000 beater that can't be targeted by monster effects, which is actually pretty decent against, you know, certain decks that don't have the outs built in. Once per turn, you can attach one material from this card, then target one face-up monster on the field. That monster loses 600 attack and defense. Then you can special summon one BORREL monster from the graveyard, but the monster special summoned by this effect is banished during the end phase. After activating this effect, for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters or attack directly. There's still some value just bringing back, like, if you were able to, a BORREL Load or a BORREL Sword. BORREL Load would just steal something, or BORREL Sword would at least just kill 2 more monsters. It's interesting. It still also banishes during the end phase, so I guess you would be forced to like try and link it off. It's nothing crazy. Oh no, you can't even link it off because you can't special summon. This card's not the best, I feel like. It's interesting though. It is maybe it's just worth as a a 3K beat stick that can't be targeted by monster effects that can be summoned with any 2 level 4 Dark Dragon monsters. Who knows? We also have Link Back, which is a normal spell. You can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn. Target 1 Link monster you control in an extra monster zone. Move that monster to your main monster zone that monster points to. Afterwards, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to that monster's Link rating. The second effect makes this interesting. Like if you're playing like I mean, it's more of an extender at that point. It's not a starter like you're probably looking for. But I was thinking of like Light Sworns. If you were able to just make a Link 2, like make like Hippo Shingen, move himself down, and then be able to just mill 2. It's interesting, but it's not like that. The moving isn't as good value as you're looking for, really, for this card. So it's probably not worth. But it's interesting. Grid Rod, which is an equipped spell card, can only be equipped to a CYBERSE monster you control. Okay, CYBERSE locked. The equipped monster gains 300 attack. It is unaffected by your opponent's effects, period, and once per turn cannot be destroyed by battle. That's actually pretty good protection. Not gonna lie, it's definitely not searchable, so that's what makes it bad, but it's actually kind of powerful. I bet you there are a ton of decks that like you would just activate this and your opponent would just be like, and just struggle. If this face-up card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. Until the end of the turn, all CYBERSE monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. That's pretty interesting. So if they're forced to go after this with spell and trap removal, then they won't be able to destroy your monster for the rest of the turn. I think this is actually like one of the best cards we've seen out of this whole lot. Then the last card here is Draw Discharge. It's a trap. Normal trap, you can only activate this card once per turn. When your opponent draws a card due to your opponent's effect, your opponent reveals all the cards they drew. If there was a monster card among them, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that total attack of the monsters that they had, and then banish all the revealed cards. That's pretty dirty. That's actually like weird. Like this actually has weird applications. Like what if like you're going first against like True Draco, and you just put this card, and you just side this card in, maybe you're playing a deck that plays Trap Trick, you search this out, when they activate either Card Demise, Desires, their spells also let them draw. They just need to draw anything. Draw, as long as there was a monster, as long as there's a monster included in that draw. I mean, I guess True Draco is not the best example because they'd have to draw into one of their monsters, so that's not the best example, but Sekka's Light in like those kinds of decks, this card just blows them out. I don't know, I think it's interesting. Maybe there will be a meta where that's a possible side-in card. And then for probably the most interesting thing here, well, I think this Endymion card had the most hype, but it didn't end up coming to fruition. But after that, this is the most interesting thing here. A hand trap for witchcrafts appears. Interesting, because they all can like get them to hand relatively easy. When a spell... Okay, so first things first. Hold on. We have Witchcraft Golem Arles. Arlis, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a level 8 light spellcaster. Her design is pretty cool. I like her design a lot. Her effect, 2800 attack also. Big attack. 0 defense, probably not a big deal. And the first effect is a hard once per turn. When a spellcaster monster or monsters you control is targeted by an opponent's card effect or targeted for an attack by an opponent's monster while this card is in your hand, you can target either one card your opponent controls or one witchcraft spell in your graveyard, special summon this card, and if you do, return the targeted card to the hand. This is really interesting. So you target one card on your opponent controls, period, and just bounce it to hand. Obviously, you're not trying to bounce back row because they can just reset it. But if there's like an extra deck monster or a monster they need to commit to the board, this is interesting for sure. And even if there is nothing that's really a great target to bounce, you could literally just bounce a witchcraft spell back to your hand, which is pretty like not bad at all. And she's a 2800 body. And she sticks around, so that can affect, I didn't say this. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, return this card to the hand. It's just protection. It's just like if your opponent ever wants to attack you or target one of your monsters, they just know like that this card's in circulation, which is actually kind of crazy. This may be like a must one of, and then we might be in like a situation where like in the deck, you probably just played like one Hein, one Ver, and one of this card. You play your 3 bricks. They're definitely bricks for sure, but they all have like solid value. Actually, this one isn't even really brick. It's like a hand trap. So it doesn't negate. You still, whatever they targeted you for, whatever they attacked you for, you know, can still happen, but you do bounce. Pretty spicy. I like this card a lot. Well, maybe not a lot. I like it a good amount. I don't know how crazy this would be. In theory, it seems pretty good. You keep it for your next turn. It's a 2800 body, so not only do you get to summon it, bounce something, but then you get to use it in your battle phase, do some damage, and then it goes back to your hand to possibly use again, and your opponent knows they can't do much. That's like against Striker. Almost all their cards target. All their removal cards and like stun cards target. Altergeist target at like their basic play setup. So Quicius, that targets, this hits them there. What else? I mean, Orcus going second, like to just go into Nightmares and target and bounce, and in which case you literally punish them so hard because they just need to make the Nightmare, but you just summon this and bounce the Nightmare, and then they don't even have, if they don't have the extenders, they can't even make like their mermaid play, which is crazy. So really interesting card. Really interesting, and this is also really encouraging that we already see Witchcraft support coming out. This like we knew this. We knew that Witchcrafts were like too appealing for Konami to not jump on the train and make better support to get them like rolling. Even though they may not be great right out the gate, Konami may be developing support very soon because they have an interesting play style and definitely have potential. But guys, I think that's pretty much it for all the news we got today. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited for Witchcraft. This is disappointing. The rest, I mean, there are some interesting cards here. Nothing crazy, but I think this Witchcraft card is the most impressive one here. But still, interesting nonetheless. This guy's interesting as well. Yeah, let me know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do that because I'm making news videos pretty much as soon as I can after the news drops and bringing it to you guys. So thanks again for watching. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Peace out.